Tonight, this video of an all-out brawl during a middle school basketball game in Vermont. Now at the center of the investigation into a 60-year-old man's death. What sparked the brawl is unclear, but spectator fists are flying amid a chorus of yelling and official whistles.
In Vermont, sports parents lose their minds and it results in tragedy.
One witness telling our NBC affiliate in Vermont, the violence erupted after a referee's call. Others disturbed by the violence.
What actually happened, witnesses said two men began arguing in the stands, the fight spilling out into the court. Next thing you know, fists were flying everywhere from every direction.
Vermont State Police say Russell Giroux was among the spectators that took part in the melee. In a statement, police note he had left the school and was driving in the direction of his home when he stopped the car and called first responders.
Russell Giroux would be taken to a hospital. Tragically, he would pass away shortly thereafter.
The cause of his death is still being investigated, but the school district will no longer allow fans at the games for the rest of the season.
This is completely unacceptable. Yet if you followed our work, you know this has become all too common. The governor of Vermont has called for civility, which, of course, there should be.
This is just another example in a long line of violent incidents at youth sporting events. And Adrian, according to the K-12 shooting database, they track all of these violent incidents at schools. There have been 171 people injured and 22 people killed or because of school sporting events since 2012.
Here's the backstory and what could potentially be done to curb this violence. Vermont state troopers were called to the Community Education Center just before 7 p.m. after a report of a large fight involving spectators during a 7th and 8th grade boys basketball game. The fight would end prior to the troopers' arrival. Authorities so far are not saying what triggered the fight. In some respects, I'm at a loss for words. This should never happen, said Grand Isle State's attorney, Doug DeSabito, who lives in the area. He says state police are gathering video footage and information about who was there. Very sad, and it's because of adults, and I'm sad for my community. Jay Nichols, pictured here, is the executive director of the Vermont Principals Association. He would tell CBS News the following in a statement. Although we cannot speak specifically about the events at this individual game, we would like to once again emphasize that middle and high school sports are educational and are for the benefit of the student athletes. He said spectators that cannot behave appropriately can be barred from events and can face criminal charges. He would add, spectators have an obligation to behave appropriately. Student athletes are participating in these contests. It's for educational purposes. It's not for adult entertainment. If the adults cannot behave appropriately, they can also face criminal charges. The town this incident went down in has about 2,100 people. It's located in northwest Vermont. According to Burlington station WCAX, video of the incident showed at least 2 players joining in the melee, along with more than a dozen adults. Giroux was said to have been brought to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. According to the VSP, his body will be brought to the office of the chief medical examiner in Burlington to determine the cause and manner of his death. So what is the effect of these incidents occurring? According to the National Federation of High School Associations, some 50,000 high school officials, about 20%, quit from 2018 to 2021. According to a local Fox affiliate in Houston, 22 states have laws protecting officials. And as we have seen, participation in youth sports is currently on the downslope. A lot having to do with, yes, the shortage of referees, but also because of instances just like this.